Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how to do some factoring when you're just solving for something like x to the squared or x to the second power. So let's get started. Alright, so for this question, we're going to sort of start really quickly and talk about what does this mean with this x squared. So this x squared, so for this we're going to really just be solving for x. So we have to figure out what does x equal. But this x squared right here means that something, x is to the second, it's being multiplied times itself. So when we really look at this, we can say x times x equals some number, and in this case 625. So we have to say x times x equals what number times itself. So it sort of mimics this pattern of something times something is going to be something times something else. Okay, so to do that, I usually just suggest that people memorize these, but a lot of times I just suggest to go to 12. But obviously this is a little bit farther than 12, because 12 goes up to 144 and this is 625. So I would say just learn it. So if you were to just know this off the top of your head, you would say, well, the square root of 625, which would be two numbers multiplied by itself, and you would get that is 25 times 25. So x squared equals 625. This would be just square root both sides, right? So you square root both sides to get rid of the square root symbol in this, and then this would be here, and this would equal 25. Alright, so that is what you need to know for that. But if you want to actually take the time to sort of work it out without using a calculator, or to commit the first 25 perfect squares together, which would take a lot of time, I wouldn't even say do that. But if you wanted to find a way to estimate until you got the right number, I'm going to show you this now. So if you were to estimate, I would say start with 10, right? So if I have 10 times 10, right, that equals 100. Okay, well I know that's way too small, but if I did 100 times 100, that would be just way too big. I'm not even using that one. So I would say, okay, well I have 10 times 10. Well, what about 20 times 20? Okay, so if I'm going to work this out, I'm just going to put this here. 20 times 20. So I have 0, 0, and then I put my placeholder 0 there. I have another 0, and then I have this one. So that's 400, right? So I know I need to keep going because I'm not quite at the 625 yet, okay? But I know if I go to 30 times 30, I know that when I get to this number, it's going to be 9 something, and that's way too big than what I want. So I'm not going to go that far. So let's just say I didn't know that it was 25. So let's say I went to 22. 22 times 22, right? So 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 2 is 4 again. 0, 4, 4. So this would be me to 484. That's still not quite enough, so I would keep going. And let's just say that I did a couple more and then I got to 25. So I'd say, okay, 25 times 25. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 2 is 12. Let me erase this so I don't mess up. Placeholder 0. 5 times 2 is 10. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. So I add this together, that is 625. So this would be my answer, which would tell me that that's enough. So I could say, well, this is how I know that that is the square root of 625 equals 25. Okay, so if you have to do it and you don't have a calculator and you're not allowed to use a calculator, I would start with like 10 times 10 and then just sort of go up incrementally until you get to the point where you think it's right. So great question. If you have another question or if you want to see another example, let me know. I would be more than happy to help.